Hey guys, and welcome to yet another speed build. Boy, it's been long since I said that, but hello, welcome back everyone that's been here before, and welcome to new people that may have found the channel recently. So it's time to do the speed build that celebrates all things Felixander x Harrie. This build contains only CC made by our two fair hands, so that would be the Kichen, the Bafroom, Tiny Twavellers, and the Jardine. Those 4 packs are included in here. I have used some other EA packs, but one or two pieces from expansion packs and game packs mostly, but you'll see this as we go along. Anyway, this video is going to be pretty damn long. This took me forever to build. I have not built in a long time, so I'm kind of out of practice, but I decided to kind of leave it a little bit longer so that we have a little more time together, because it's been forever. So grab a popcorn, all that stuff. We have so much to catch up on. Couldn't really do a catch up in the Jardane overview video because it was kind of more informative and I was showing you everything, but in this one you've seen it all, you've done it all, we're good, we can just have a little chit chat, and occasionally I may just mention things about the build. For example, how many times it took me, no, not how many attempts I took to try and fit the pergola into this build. Unsuccessfully, by the way. So first of all, in this area here, I attempted to use the pergola instead of this roof. Did it work? No. Then I tried it, I think, in the courtyard area that we end up having in here, and then so many places I tried it. But I suppose before I get into the general chit chat, I should give you the rundown on what this build is. So as I said, all of the CC is by myself and Felixander. It's only our collabs, not our individual free content as well, so only those 4 sets you're going to need. The Jardane is still on early access. The link will be down below in the description box. Also, I will have a Tumblr post to go with this so that you have the links for all of the CC that you require for it. And yeah, so this one was inspired by a house I found on Pinterest, but it had a whole article on it in Dwell, the online version of Dwell. I don't know if it is a physical magazine or if it's just online, but it's called Dwell, the website, and it was a Belgian inspired farmhouse, but it was in, like, I don't know where it was, somewhere in America, let's call it like that. So they were inspired by a Belgian farmhouse, and I have to say, I recently, my personal taste, I have been very much looking at Belgian farmhouses because I got these huge fat coffee table books. Actually, what are they? They are way too expensive to be bought, but I sometimes get these little moments where I just say, screw it. And they're by Beta Plus, and it's like best of for 500 contemporary interiors. I think I've got like 500 contemporary interiors, 500 classic interiors. They have a whole set of stuff. Anyway, it's a Belgian publishers, and they focus on Belgian interiors and architecture and design. And so I've been looking at lots of Belgian farmhouses. Also, Axel Fairfort has been on the brain too, and I have some books about his interiors. So yeah, when I saw this and I was like, Belgian townhouse, what am I on about? Farmhouse, yes please. I was going to, believe it or not, do a build that would have been better linked to me and Felix, but as we all know, the bathroom windows and doors are currently out of action, and it was just too painful to do the said build without them. Yeah, they're currently out of action, don't worry, they will be fixed. It'll be pretty painful to fix them manually, so we are waiting for a possible batch fix to be created by Sims4 Studio. Definitely will work on the bathroom windows and doors because they're very, very simple ones. They're just rectangular shapes, so it will work perfectly for them. But we're waiting for them to get a batch fix for like the curved windows, you know, in the game. So yeah, that's why there's a delay on that getting fixed, but they will be. So, oh, here's attempt number 2 at pergola. Yeah, failed epically. Sometimes you just have to admit defeat. Pergola was not meant to be used. But yeah, so let's have a rundown. I've been away for so long. Nifty Knitting came out, didn't do a video. Not apologising for that. I've got to say, Nifty Knitting was not for me, aimed at me. I didn't vote for it. Well, I did actually vote once it got picked, but I think I voted for the arts and craft, but I voted for pottery because I thought that there would be some cute, interesting craftables from the pottery skill being added in, but that didn't win. We got knitting because apparently people want more stuff for old people, but I don't necessarily see knitting always for old people. But yeah, I think it was everyone's cry of we want more stuff for elders that made everyone vote for knitting. Again, it was like laundry day all over again. You know, we want eco, and then it was like, yeah, laundry. Same thing happened. I've got to say, laundry day actually turned out pretty damn well. But I wasn't that inspired by the picks we have for this second round of the community stuff pack. And Nifty Knitting, I haven't really used it. I don't think I used any items in this build. I think I purposely avoided using them because, yeah, it's Nifty Knitting. And then we move on to the new pack that shall not be named. It used to be my first pet stuff, but now I'm going to boldly and proudly say I like my first pet stuff, and there is one item from that pack in this build. I'm sorry, I apologise. But the pack that shall not be named now is the Star Wars pack that came, and I have to say, as Game Changers, we did not get early access, and we did not have to do any content for it, which is why I can quite proudly say I will not be doing any Star Wars content. Look, I'm with you. Everyone was outraged. How the hell did you do this? I don't normally feed into this whole let's bash EA thing because, do you know what? I can kind of see it from both sides. I am a consumer of the game because I have been playing this since the year 2000. Yep, I'm that old. And I want this game to do well. Also, on the other hand, if this game was so good, no one would want to buy the CC, you know? There wouldn't be so much of a demand for it. But the same thing, you kind of need the game to still be working for my job to exist. So, you know, we all help each other. But I know everyone wants better babies, people want cars. I'd rather they put something else in before cars, but everyone wants babies. Hell yeah. I feel like that is such an underdeveloped stage of life. Better babies, I'm all for it. People want cars, people want all kinds of stuff added into the game, and then they announce Star Wars. And also, it got leaked first. So, I feel really sorry for that person that leaked that icon on the blog post. RIP. But yeah, they leaked it, and also, I don't think they even removed it. I think I looked back again, they still had the icon there. So, yep. The Sims 4 leaked their own game pack, the Star Wars one, and as I said, I don't normally feed into the Let's Bash EA thing because I get it. For me, no one goes out intentionally to make bad content. Come on. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make business sense for someone to purposefully make awful content. Sure, people can make content that does not land well and is not great, but no one intentionally ever actually makes bad content. Some people just sometimes make not so great decisions. So Star Wars one though, Sim Guru Lindsay to try and take responsibility for said idea, but to me, I think it's pretty plain and simple that EA owned the rights to Star Wars, and they were going to use it to get in new people into The Sims. That's the way it works out. I tweeted, oh, I don't understand the logic. I'm going to correct that now. I do understand the logic. Yes, none of us in the community really asked for Star Wars. I'm going to say none of us. That's a very, very broad sweeping statement. Yes, I know. It's like when you say, this never happened. It's a sweeping statement. But a very niche, actually, let's be accurate. A very niche section, teeny tiny niche section of the community asked for more Star Wars content. I'm pretty sure they probably meant, you know, a few more costumes and casts, blah, 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 blah. Probably not a fully blown game pack. I don't think anyone's expecting from it. But this was definitely a ploy to get more new people into The Sims by capitalizing on the whole Star Wars brand, to get new people into the game, maybe people that used to play The Sims and no longer do, Star Wars fans, blah 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 blah. But it was definitely not to make the community, the general Sims 4 community, happy and excited and get content that they've been wishing and longing for, if you get what I mean. Now, to me, I get it. To them, it makes very much logical business sense to try and get more people in. But I think they could have picked a subject which not only brought new people in, but also didn't alienate the majority of their pre-existing community. I think that's what you should always try and do. I'm pretty sure they didn't think it was gonna really go down as bad as it did, but it did. So yeah, I have used one wallpaper from Star Wars in this build. I know, I wanted to formally apologise for that, but if you are a Star Wars fan, I'm sure you're really happy with it. Congratulations to you. I attempted to play a little bit of it. It's repetitive, it's kind of boring, blah 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 blah, the usual stuff. I have watched one Star Wars film, maybe episode 1. That's it. Don't have a clue what goes on. So I tried playing it without any Star Wars knowledge. I will not be going back to play it again, but as a builder, I will give you my highlight rundownness. Highlights of Star Wars pack as a builder would be the floors. I had to literally mentor myself through the challenge of not using the floors in this build. I want it to be nice, okay? In the future, probably won't be as nice. I'll probably just stick them in a build. But the floors from Star Wars are so delicious. They are just like... The only issue I do have with the floors as well, 2 swatches. 2 swatches? Who needs 2 swatches in their life? No one. I need at least 10 swatches on every item. I think you've grasped that from the packs that we've created, that we do love a good array of swatches, you know. So yeah, 2 swatches. At least it's not like base game. You know, base game, how many items in base game have 1 swatch? Oh, while we're here, this is my favourite bit of the outside, would be that round table there at the end, and it overlooks out to the ocean sea bit. Yeah, that's my favourite part, and that is the little sneak peek I did on the community tab earlier. So yeah, back to Star Wars. Great floors. I've used wallpaper in the master bedroom in this place. That is from Star Wars. It has great texture. It's awesome, I have to say. So I think Star Wars, I've got to say, I'm sure for the team, it was an amazing pack to work on. So much detail. As a creative, I'm sure it was amazing. Anything not the run-of-the-mill normal pack would be amazing to work on. I get it. I'm sure they had a great time creating it, but they were kind of doomed to fail. I feel bad, but yeah, the stuff really well made. Few weird, I've got to say, when you do brand deals, like if you see the Moschino clothing and also some of the items in the Star Wars pack, you'll notice they're way more detailed than The Sims would normally do, and that is to basically calm down the brand that they're working with. Of course, both brands have to kind of meet in the middle, and that means sometimes The Sims skews a little bit more detailed than they normally would do. Like in Moschino, some of the textures are a little bit off. They also, of course, put Latin wording on the clothes in Moschino because, of course, they wanted it to read and be their brand. And in this one, there was, I don't know, the characters' face mask, which was a little bit too much. Some of the items have a tiny bit too much detail in them, but because it's Star Wars, you know, I'm sure Disney wanted that amount of detail. It had to be kind of accurate. Sometimes with brands, you kind of have to compromise. That was the word, compromise. That's what the Sims team kind of had to do to placate and keep Disney happy. So yeah. But anyway, can I just say that I'm doing here some greenery on the outside. This place is really, really simple in real life, has no greenery. I had to add it because in The Sims, plain looks kind of bleh. So yeah, I've added this bit on and it looks really, really cute. So I'm not going to apologise for it. It looks better for it. I think it was a good judgment. And yeah, back to Star Wars. So if you've got spare money, buy Star Wars. If you don't have it, don't buy it. And also, probably get it on sale. I'm sure it'll go on sale very soon. Let's be honest about it. Yeah, so that was Star Wars. But maybe we can get on to more happy moments, which is the Jardane. I'm so happy to be able to have released it and that you guys get to use it. Every release that we do, almost sound like EA. We're not EA. It's really funny when it's like release day, people say release day. When the packs that we do go to public, do you know how many messages I get on that day? Well, we get on that day to say, what time is it out? What time is it out? It's midnight. It's past midnight in Australia. Why isn't it out yet? I am not EA. I do not have a scheduled time of release. So, yeah, it's quite funny when you do these and people seem to think that you're, I don't know, EA, and they expect timed releases. But so yeah, the Jardine, every pack we do, it's like, are people gonna like it? Are they not gonna like it? Have we hit the right sweet spot? Have we done this? Have we done that? But I think we come in it that we kind of do items that we want in our game, and we're coming at it from the angle of we are builders. So as a builder, I know what's lacking, I know what I want more, blah, 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 blah. So I think that's maybe the advantage I have over EA. I feel like, it's not a bash EA thing, this is constructive criticism. I think that at EA, they don't, the people that are creating the ideas are not the people that are using the game. So they need to, I feel like they need to rely on EA Game Changers maybe a little bit more, as we do use the game and we have a wealth of knowledge that we are more than ready to offer up for free. You know, we don't get paid for this. We're more than ready to offer the help for free because we want this game to be the best that it can possibly be, more probably than anyone else. We want it to be the best it can be, so we'd be more than willing to help them in that thing. Of course, there is the whole thing of too many cooks spoil the broth. So, you know, there's lots of game changers, you can't ask them all to help you. But things like surveys are really good as well, which they have been doing a lot more recently. But yeah, they don't come at it from an angle of someone that plays the game. They just, you know. So I think that's maybe sometimes why they miss the mark a little bit more often than not. Also, people that play this game are actually a lot older than the Sims teams markets it to. So these items that they're putting in the game are very much in my mind, look, I'm in my 30s and I still play this game. Lots of people are people that have played it from day one and they are the same age as me, if not older. Some people are younger, but I feel like traditionally in video games, they don't market them really at the people that are their main core audience, which is kind of strange. I think it's very difficult to market to 30-somethings, and they rather target the new people that are coming in. So that means when they create these packs, they're a little bit more juvenile. Like the fuchsia and black swatch is a personal no for me. So they kind of target them more towards the younger audience, where I feel like when we do our sets, we don't have to worry about that. We can kind of do it to our own audience, our own age group, which I think the majority of people are our age. Wow, words today. And maybe a little bit younger as well, but people that have an appreciation for good design. Also, some people that have no clue what designs we're inspired by, but they just like the look of them. I think that The Sims is kind of trapped in the need to go to and skew it to a younger audience, because it is really difficult to market a game to a 30-something. That's just not something that's done in the gaming industry. That's probably why this game is typically skewed to that, but we don't need to worry about that, you know. We are not a multi-billion-dollar company. We don't need to worry about such things, so we just create stuff that we like. And probably that's why some people are like, oh, why don't EA do this, the colors, blah blah blah. I think we have it easy in that sense. Of course, we don't have as much red tape and things to check off, so we get to do what we want. And lots of people are like, oh, EA, hire them. To be quite honest, I would be a consultant. I think consultation on art direction would be kind of fun to do at EA, but I wouldn't personally be directly employed by them, because I think it's just more restrictions. I think me and Felix, we do what we do to the best of our ability because we have the creative freedom to do it. I'm sure with creative freedom, the people at EA, directly on the Sims team, could do you a pack like this. I'm sure they could, but unfortunately they don't have the freedom to do that. So, well, that's where we come in. So yeah, the Jardane, I hope you like it. For this one, we did actually decide to not be total losers at home by ourselves for hours and hours and hours working on it. You know, with the two of us, both of us separately, one in Germany, one in England, working on it. We decided that we were going to meet up for this collab. It's the first time we have ever done a collab in the same room. So Felix did come over for a little bit at the end of the month so that we could finish the set together, and we went to the Cotswolds in a nice little cottage, super cute. We went to the first one for 3 days. Great. Moved to the second one. I thought the first one was good. The second one was absolutely stunning. When I say stunning, I mean, I was like, look, it's going to take a lot to top the first one. It was a really cute place. All the amenities, internet was great, little local pub, all this stuff, fields, gorgeous houses, lots of picture taking opportunities, creative inspiration. And then the second place, we literally went there and it was in the middle of a valley in the Cotswolds, and there was just nothing but fields and sheep. Oh, and llamas. Very appropriate for The Sims. You drove down this track. You were like, okay, where are we going? The sat nav does not have this on the map. You keep on going, it's just gravel, and suddenly you come out and there's these two cottages there, and the place was just stunning. It's owned by a Swiss lady. She wanted to just raise animals, so she just has fields and fields of sheep. But she's done up these cottages, and they're all done with such great taste. They are items that the furniture pieces are like items that, can I say this without sounding like a total dickhead? But they're items that we would include in our sets, in our collab sets. They're like design classic pieces, and it was just stunning. It was really nice to be remote in the middle of nowhere, but with great design all around, so that we could it was isolated so that we could concentrate on finishing the collab, both of us on our laptops at the kitchen table, looking out onto just fields. It was so nice, apart from when I decided it was time to use the internet. So me and Felix share on Adobe Creative Cloud. We share our files, so we're all synchronized. We have the same files, we work on it. The internet was so bad that we could not synchronize the files. We couldn't do anything. Nothing. The internet was that bad that I couldn't play Spotify. I had personally bought a Bluetooth speaker, Ultimate Ears Bluetooth like Mega Boom. It's the one that's in the Jardane. I was inspired by the purchase I made, right? I wanted to include it in the Jardane. I was like, I bought this speaker just for our trip, just for this trip. And then, believe it or not, I forgot it at home, and I had to get my mum to post it to the second place. So I've gone through all this trouble, forgetting the thing at home, getting it posted to me at this second address, and then, wait for it, the internet was that bad that you couldn't even stream on Spotify. Now I'm like, the lowest amount of information you could ever need would probably be Spotify on like processing internet powers. So it turns out that apparently there was a fault on the line, so that probably lasted like the first 2-3 days we were there. It was such a struggle. Like, even if you looked at your weather app, it would take over a minute just to load to see what the weather forecast was going to be. It was really bad. And in England, in the middle of the countryside, you don't have good internet anyway, so when it's faulty, it's even worse. But it was a struggle. Like, I hadn't downloaded poses. We always normally use poses for our promo shots. We needed the set finished first before we could do promo shots, and there wasn't enough internet to download poses. It was really, it was super stressful. I've got to tell you, it was not a good look. We have no idea how we were going to sort this all out. But we managed to pull on through whatever internet we had. We managed to get poses downloaded. And then I woke up the next morning. We were going to go to a cafe to try and get everything done. And the owners told us that the fault had been fixed. Hallelujah. And now we were back to regular, terrible, slow countryside internet. I've never been so happy for that in my life. So we finished off, did all the promo shots. Still didn't have enough internet to actually post an image on Patreon, which I found totally shocking. But we did have a day of music on Spotify, so this was very good. We were going on up. And then came time to upload everything, and it said it was going to take 8 hours to upload all of the set files. So that was fun. Tried that early in the day, didn't work. We decided, no, we'll just go the next day. But you know, when you're like trapped in, you're stressed, decided we needed to go out for dinner. And I decided to attempt to upload the files while we went out to dinner. And it was way faster than the morning the internet was. And I was like, yes, it says it's going to take 2 hours. I'm so excited. By the way, just to give you some perspective, on the size of the files, it would normally take me 10 minutes to upload them, so 2 hours. 2 hours versus my normal 10 minutes. Under 10 minutes, by the way, and 10 minutes is being very, very generous with the amount of allotted time. So, yeah, I was like, it's going to take 2 hours. We'll go out. Luckily, when we come back, it will be finished. Came back more than 2 hours later. Was it finished? No, it said 65%. So carried on using my laptop, watched a few YouTube videos, and I looked again and it had gone to 60% uploaded, and I was like, hold on, when I came back it said 65, and I continued, and maybe another hour later it was like down to 50%, and finally before I was about to go to bed it was at 45% uploaded. So apparently uploads can go backwards now. Had no idea. I think it was dumping earlier information because it was taking too long to upload, so I just cancelled it and decided to start all over again. I know it's been going already for like 4 hours at this point, but I cancelled it, said I've got nothing to lose. If it doesn't upload, we're still going to go out tomorrow to a cafe somewhere and find some internet somehow, some way to get this published. So I left it, I started it again overnight, and I got to say, luckily when we got up the next morning, it had uploaded, so praise Jesus for that one. Still had to go out to a cafe like a 40-minute drive away, I think it took 40 minutes to drive to the cafe to actually post the Patreon post, because for some reason we could upload a huge amount of information but we couldn't post a simple image using this internet. So let's just say we're not going to be going back there again, as gorgeous as it was. Maybe if you wanted to like go off the grid for a little bit, great place. Not so much for doing something that requires a lot of internet. So next time, which we hope to be able to do this another time, we will pick somewhere based on their very fast internet speed. But yeah, that was the drama surrounding the collab. I hope you enjoyed my stories. I've got to say, I've rambled on. We've gone all the way through this house. You're probably bored of me by now and you're like, yeah, you can go away for another 2 months. Yeah. But anyway, I suppose I should do a little bit more about this build. It has, shocker, more than one bedroom in this build. I know, you've seen me just do the master bedroom and you're like, she did one bedroom. But no, there is an upstairs, okay? There are 3 bedrooms in this. This is meant to be showcasing all of our collab sets, which meant that I needed to showcase tiny Twavellers, and that is for Kiddly Winks. They are upstairs. There's 2 kids' bedrooms upstairs. There's one for a child, one for a toddler, and there's the master bedroom downstairs. So 3 bedrooms. If you are new here and you have no idea why I'm making such a big deal out of the fact that there's 3 bedrooms in this place, it's because I normally only build houses with 1 bedroom. Like, yeah. It's a thing, it's an ongoing joke of people asking for builds with more bedrooms, and I'm like, no, who needs more than 1 bedroom? I want a big master suite. And here I still managed to have a large master suite and have 2 more bedrooms. I'm quite proud of myself, you know, getting better in my old age. So yeah, 3 bedrooms, you're welcome. Probably the next one will be back to 1 bedroom again. I'm just gonna warn you. Yeah. But speaking of builds, I do have less time to do builds. As you know, I have been like away for like 2 months maybe. And I was working on one build. I did a sneak peek of it. I thought I was going to have it finished, and I had another project just sneak up on me, which I had to dive onto, and now I can't finish it because the windows and doors are broken and it's got Felix Ender's windows all over it. So we're gonna have to wait patiently for those to be fixed, for the batch fix to come out and stuff, and I'm really missing CC windows and doors. I would have loved them to be available, so I could have done that second place that I mentioned that had the terrible internet. I really wanted to build that for this build because it would have been so well connected to me and Felix, and it would have showcased our items, and it would have been like a whole full circle thing and well-rounded conceptual thing. But no, it's not a thing. Okay. So yeah, we've now moved into the kids' bedroom. This whole place is very much light, bright, airy. I put a more textured wallpaper on the walls. Also, the outside, I started off with the white walls from Tiny Twavellers, but I've got to say, as much as I love these white builds with black windows, in The Sims it looks a little bit too contrasty. Contrast can be a difficult one. I find less contrast in the game is a lot better than a lot. So I did do an off-white just so that it wasn't so stark white against the black windows, because they are very black. I had no idea that the Seasons windows actually came in just a full black swatch, which I was very excited about finding, because I had to use only in-game windows for this because Sissy wasn't broken. I know. If you only knew the amount of times I've cried about them being broken. Oh, I can't wait. Seriously, I'll do a nice build for you guys. Well, actually, no, I'll finish off the build I had in progress once the windows are fixed, you know? I would love to be able to do more builds, but at this moment, I just don't have the time. Patreon has kind of taken over. Patreon is my main source of income now. I am now a full-time CC creator. Who would have thunked it? I didn't think this was going to be... I didn't think this was a thing, to be quite honest. It's really, really weird considering how long I have played this game, and now it is my job, and yeah, mind blown. So I want to say thank you very much for all of the support. Even here on YouTube, you do your bit. So now YouTube is kind of like my hobby rather than my pursuit. So yeah, videos probably will be pretty sporadic, but I'm hoping maybe because I don't have to worry about you know, releasing builds and keeping up with this schedule as much, maybe I can do builds that take a little bit more time and not rush them, and kind of do them as I go along in between breaks of doing CC. Fingers crossed. So maybe you'll see bigger builds. I'm not too sure how it's going to pan out, but I would love to just... Patreon is kind of like a treadmill. It's like, okay, I've released 1 month, next month. You know, you're kind of on this treadmill of consistently having to deliver, because of course people are paying for early access, so you can't let them down. But I would love to be able to just do a build month every once in a while, and just be like, I'm gonna do builds this month. And if people could still stick around on Patreon when I decide to do that, that'd be great. They're not going to be that often, but I would love to have that flexibility, I think, and just have a month where I'm just churning out builds instead of CC. So yeah, it's kind of just a balancing act. I'm still finding my feet at this whole producing of CC thing. Of course, that means every month now I have to come up with ideas for CC. As always, all of my content is available on early access for 4 weeks exactly. Well, exactly 1 calendar month, depending whatever date I release it on Patreon. It then automatically goes to public. So I do that on Patreon. If you want to follow me over on Patreon, even if you don't support and become a patron, if you want to go and follow me over there, then you'll know what new content is coming out. On Patreon, there's a post feature where you can set it to be early access. So I can set it that at midnight on the night that it's meant to go public, it will go public. So I don't have to change anything. It automatically goes to public, so you don't have to hound me. It's just that I'm not been very good recently of telling people on Tumblr that it's now public, but they are all there public, you know? So yeah, that's it. But yeah, we're coming up to the end of this. This is the toddler bedroom. I'm really, really happy with the way this turned out, and I hope you get to enjoy it. Public release for the Jardane is on the 4th of October, so if you can't afford to support us over on Patreon, then that's when you'll be able to use this build with all the contents in it. We are just having so much fun doing these collabs. They are literally the highlight of our years, to be quite honest. I think separately we work pretty damn good, but together me and Felix just do our best work. It's plain and simple. Our best work is done when we work together, so we're definitely inspired to keep on going and bring you guys more content and do our little bit to help you enjoy the game and for us to enjoy the game as well. So we are almost into screenshots. I want to say thank you so much for all your support, for everything, and I will try and be back very soon. Bye guys.